This is the first presentation of the superintendent's proposed FY09 budget. So
here's how we've met the challenge of getting from $4-point-something million down to $800,000 increase. We've had to reduce the following things. Instructional services, our central office function, and we will be reducing curriculum teams. Those are the teachers across schools and across programs who collaborate together under the leadership of Michelle Kingston to make sure that the math that they're learning in the 4th grade at Jefferson is the same math that they're learning in the 4th grade at Davis Thayer and all over the district in every subject matter. It's a complex process, and coordinating is not simple, but we are going to next year to meet this challenge. We're going to reduce the only functioning curriculum team district-wide is going to be English language arts for next year. We're going to reduce professional development and memberships. We're going to drop out of the Tri-County Partnership, and we're also going to reduce a small amount for test with software, which is a data analyst software, and hope that the state's new freeware is going to be fully functional. And then the central office, each school has a budget for some textbooks, but the central office, I mean, Michelle also has a $60,000 to $65,000 textbook item. So when we do a district-wide initiative, it can be paid for out of there. We're eliminating it for next year. We're going to do no district-wide text initiative. Pupil personnel, $231,000 in reductions. This is the elimination of the assistant director of PPS, the reduction in anticipated ability to reduce some of our out-of-district tuitions by bringing back some special education students because the programs that Linda Waters is developing with their staff are extraordinary. And then not only do we expect to bring back some Franklin students to our program, but we are in negotiations with several school districts about several students that they would like to tuition into our programs because some of our programs are so exemplary. It's so hard to reproduce for town that they want to buy spaces that could actually bring $60,000 to $65,000 in revenue to us. And that's figuring this. The one thing I will tell you is that Linda is making a huge sacrifice. She is running on all cylinders right now. And this is a tremendous gut-level sacrifice to give up the assistant director. And frankly, I don't know, well, I do know the only way she's going to be able to pull this off is by other central office personnel taking additional responsibilities off of her plate and putting them on Maureen's and Michelle's primarily, and mine to a far lesser degree. And Linda needs to be prevented or institutionalized for making this cut. Transportation, this is going to be a bitter pill for parents to swallow and for our kids as well. We're proposing that we eliminate the late buses for middle and high school, which is what takes kids home after extra help and extracurricular activities. That's a $45,000 cost. And we're proposing that we increase the pay-to-ride fee by $100 a student from $225 to $325. It is a huge increase, I realize, but I need to state publicly that the real cost per kid riding a bus per year is about $800 per kid per year. And so even at $325, which is again a 40–45% increase, it still is less than 50% of the real cost of that. Further reductions, the high school, we're talking about 17 instructional positions and 1 administrative position to the tune of $850,000 in savings. This is, I will truth in lending, that what Pam Gould has done is reduced 18 positions, but sort of behind the layers of this budget is she would actually be reducing more like 16 because she wants to add a social worker to the school to address the ever-changing needs of the kids at the high school and the programs we have there. And she wants to add back some curriculum leadership positions that have been cut in the past. So it's 18 of 17 instructional positions, 1 administrative positions, allowing her to add back those 2 or 2.4 other positions, but still a total net reduction in salaries and benefits at the high school of $850,000. At the middle school level, we're talking about 12 and a half instructional positions, the reduction of, not the elimination, but the reduction of extracurricular stipends, and the reduction of 20,000 per school, 22,000 per school in supply budgets. That's $660,000 in reductions from the level service budget at the middle school. Elementary schools, $675,000 in reductions, equivalent to 15 instructional positions. I think those are primarily, if not all. And actually, I think in your chairs you may have the more specifics, although tonight I hope that we won't go into those. I will say, having covered all of those teacher and a few administrative cuts, that what Paul has factored into this budget, for every teacher reduction, the figure we've used is $45,000 for the salary and $5,000 for health insurance benefit. Now those are low, but if you understand that most of we're cutting from primarily our youngest staff up, least experienced and least well compensated, that's why we can use a figure that's actually even below the average cost of a teacher compensation package. So it's $50,000 in total per person for personnel cuts.